Thank you for joining us and welcome sports fans. You are now watching the Baseball Hippie Show, Baseball Hippie Show, Baseball Hippie Show. Wow, it's the Baseball Hippie Show. Welcome all, it's just love and baseball. Just love and baseball. Just love and baseball. Baseball Hippie Show. Welcome all, it's just love and baseball. Baseball Hippie Show. Welcome all, it's just love and baseball. Baseball, just love and baseball. Just love and baseball. Baseball, just love and baseball. Just love and baseball.
Welcome everybody worldwide to the Baseball Hippie Show here on this beautiful July 18th, 9:20 broadcast here on Pacific Northwest. I am the Baseball Hippie. To my right, engineer extraordinaire Brownbear. Down below, social media manager Tobes, aka 1080 Tobe.
1080.
That was thought of right before this episode. What episode are we on? Season 5. Episode 6, 9er.
6, I think. Yeah. I feel like we've done more than 6, but that's what it says.
In our lifetime. Yeah, I mean, I think we've been doing a good array this year, where we just come to you when you need us most to talk a little bit of B and a little bit of P, which is psychedelia for any of our new listeners, and maybe talk a little D nuke. We'll get into that later.
Been pretty light on the D nuke this season, I feel like.
Well, we were heavy on it for the first 5. Shit has gotten heated. I know, man. Yeah. Well, we'll bring it back. I still believe it. I'm a firm believer in denuclearization. It's tough times. Everyone. I read a thing the other day about that there's like, it's extremely hard to launch a nuclear weapon anyways. So they don't know if even the countries that have them, if they even work, which they just shouldn't use them, because
there's all sorts of laws about like testing them now and stuff.
It's part of climate change too. You'll see, is that why do we have weapons that physically can destroy our planet? If all of them went off, like, our ecosystems would change. Things would be fucked up for humans. Nuclear winter. Why do we do that? It's fucking weird. Anyways. Back to a happier subject. All-Star break, All-Star special, bringing out all the stars, man. What do we got to say? As always, start the show. Brown Bear, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Happy to be back. I was on vacation for a while. It's been probably about a month since we did a show. Took a trip to the East Coast. Got harassed by some Boston fans, mostly family members. It's hard to wear a Mariners hat back there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damn.
It's hard to wear a Mariners hat back there.
Really? We've made enemies. We've made that many enemies by being this bad.
Honestly, it's more like the most common thing I heard was like, bro, Ichiro is one of my favorite players of all time, or Felix is one of my favorite players of all time. How the fuck did you guys waste their careers? I have like 2 or 3 different cousins say that shit to me. So it's less of like a hate on the team and more of like y'all were supposed to be good and you fucked it up. And
yeah.
As we know, that's life as a Mariners fan. So. But that was fun. Yeah, East Coast was cool. East Coast was humid.
Win a World Series for like 100 years though, so.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing is they never directly talk shit because they've had their troubles. They know what it's like.
That's true.
And I mean, I guess you probably kind of forget it when you've won 3 or 4 in the last 20 years or whatever it's been.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I think you kind of lose touch with it, but at least the cousins and friends that I was meeting with, they're like, they're old enough to remember when the Red Sox were not good.
Yeah. Just like the Mariners.
Yep. And then also it's kind of like Yankee country over there, so there's some Yankee fans, which is just a disappointment.
They just talk shit to any other hat, it sounds like, that walks in the room if you're not Boston.
Kind of, yeah. Exactly. It's just their vibe, man. It's just their vibe. They're all riding the Celtics high still too, so I kind of I dodged some of it.
Man, City of Champions. That sounds fun, man. Congrats. Yeah,
it was cool. Yeah, we were in Vermont too, which is great. And so Boston was chill. We were there, did some we were very touristy when we're there. Just do some of the sites.
Nice. Go see some houses. You get to see Ben Frank. You see anybody? We did a lot of the North End, which is like the Italian part of town, which has nice. Paul Revere stuff and the North Church. Paul Revere.
Yeah, so lots of revolutionary shit, and it's always cool being there. But the rest of the trip was in Vermont on Lake Champlain, which is really sick and very, very chill and very picturesque Americana. Like think of like a field with cows and tractors and like a old ass house, and that's like most of Vermont.
Hell yeah, brother.
Nice. Go
They got good cheese.
Yeah.
They do have good cheese. Shout out. I don't know if it's Cabot or Cabot. I don't know how they pronounce it, but I would say that shit's like on par with Tillamook, which is funny because all the grocery stores there had Tillamook now, so I feel like it's like competition. Like I don't know. I feel like you'd be like run out of Vermont if you bought Tillamook if you were from there.
Oh, true.
Damn. For all the listeners, all our East Coast listeners, Tillamook, it's an Oregon brand cheese, and it kind of runs the mid-level cheese game out here. It's like right there on the
in terms of like grocery store cheese, it's
bottom tier craft. Okay, it's not just down there in the craft section.
No, but like in terms of the grocery store cheese aisle, that's not like the cheese that's with like the olives and the hummus and shit, like the regular cheese aisle.
Yeah,
Tillamook's pretty fire.
I sounded judgmental when I said that because mid has a bad connotation. I'm trying to say it's like the blue collar block, like it's what everyone would buy.
Yeah, it's
the blue collar block.
Blue collar block.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, for the cheese aisle, it's fire.
Bro,
there's
the
better
double
cheese
extra
next to
sharp
the
with
olives.
the black label Tillamook. Come on, bro.
That shit's pretty fire.
Oh my god. Stupid.
All right. Well, maybe we get a sponsorship someday. They make ice cream too.
Oh, the ice cream is untouchable. That shit's fire.
That shit's good. They got the factory.
In terms of the
too.
shit that, all right, again, in terms of shit that comes in a gallon, you can find some extra fire shit that comes in a pint, but the gallon size, you can't beat the Tillamook in the gallon size.
This is a very West Coast conversation too, because we have some pretty heavy craft goods out here, as I imagine they do in Boston and Vermont. But yeah, it's like that's why it is in the mid section. It's the high mid. It's obviously the high mid, but it's like it can't. There's another level of this shit. Let's just be honest, where it's like some small batch. You know?
Hey, tell them we can go pint for pint.
Fuck yeah, we can.
All right. Yes, that's Tillamook for me. That's enough. See, people learn so much from the baseball hippie show. I'm telling you, if you just watch just baseball,
cheese hippie show, the dairy hippie show.
Yeah,
we on the
Cheese and
dairy
baseball is that's a good combo though. Or not? Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Like in one context, like just watching baseball and eating the block of cheese.
Hey man, it's not a bad
I just threw it out there. Yeah. I was trying to think of one example. I don't really have any. Maybe on top of a hot dog, but chili cheese dog.
I bet they do some wild shit with cheese at Brewers games.
Now we're talking about deep fried curds. Yeah.
like stretchy mozzarella stick vibes.
Ooh,
all of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. Well, before we use all of our time on talking about cheese, let's Tobe, new setup, new engine.
Yo.
Really
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, we got the new cam, new mic. We took a little off the show's budget this year. That's why we had to not do as many shows. Couldn't pay everyone. But yeah, we're back. They call me 1080T now. And on cue, my camera goes out. It's nice.
Oh, nice.
Feels good to be
back. It wouldn't be the Baseball Hippie Show without a couple of tech difficulties.
I was going to say, we haven't had technical difficulties in a while. And so 1080T bringing it up for the home team.
They're trying to hold us back. I got my yellow cheese shirt on. You know, life's good. All-Star break. We needed a break. It's been rough the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, I got some questions for you guys. I've been loving questioning you and then in a turn chat, but man, a lot of baseball talk. So I'm gonna go shout out real quick. Bunch of shout outs today, and then we'll go right into All-Star second half, and then we'll talk Mariners. And I got a question to set off the Mariners one that I just thought you guys were gonna love, come straight from baseball media. And with that, we can give a little shout out to some baseball media. I know I've been talking about it a lot this year. I've been watching more, listening to more podcasts, watching more baseball stuff. But man, Pitch Ninja at the All-Star break was insane. And he even got your boy Paul Skeens' girlfriend to do the Skeens, sorry, Paul Skeens' girlfriend Skeens. I say Skeens every time, don't I?
It looks like Skeens, dude. It's fine. I think Skeens, but I only know it's Skeens because we already corrected you about it.
Yeah, Leonard, Mr. Skeens. Yeah. She was doing 4-seam grips on the red carpet thanks to Pitch Ninja. So I just want to give him his proper due because there's a lot of good podcasts that you guys have, basically just you guys have put me onto, but because I used to just listen to ESPN baseball, like future Hall of Famer Buster Olney's podcast, but man, there's so much good, and Pitch Ninja is elite, dude. Like when it comes to the breakdown videos, like John Boy's pretty good, but man, some of those are insane. And then that tunneling one that he brought up to Skeens was so good. And then he brought it up and Skeens was like, but just kind of like a baseball fan's wet dream. I hate to say it, I know it's cliche, but it's like he's just like, yeah, I watched that. And he was basically just like, yeah, you're right. I did do that, and I did it because I see it on your show. It's like, what'd I do?
Yeah, dude, great quote from there. He goes,
cerebral.
He's like, only a bad pitch if you waste it. If you waste it with the next one, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, only a waste pitch if you don't build up, if you don't, like, throw off of it or something.
Smart. It's just like a good, different perspective on looking at pitching that Rob Freeman, I think, is kind of opened up to the common fan because a lot of that stuff, like, when I was first watching it, it was just so over my head. And so it's cool that he's getting a lot of respect from the player. Like, that's what we were saying, like, when he was just, that interview, he's walking around, like, everybody's just giving him his dues. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. And he went up to Seth Lugo and was like, can we see all your grips? And he showed 20 grips. And he had names for all his pitches. He was like, this is the gyro slider. He had 3 different sliders.
Crazy.
Sliders are crap. I've been looking up a lot about sliders because I'm trying to figure my shit out for blitzball.
Nice.
And there's so many different slider grips and so many different like ways you can throw a slider and
yeah. And then
No, it's all good.
Real quick though, the Chris Sale one again, Pitch Ninja All-Star break. He's like, yeah, I used to throw my changeup to the outside on the end, but now I just throw it like cut with a couple, like another finger on it or something. But he's like, he literally changed the angle of his wrist snapping year.
Yeah,
he said someone on Atlanta told him that, and he did it. and now he's in the All-Star game again. So it's like crazy that
that's kind of like with the slider shit. I was talking. There's so many different ways to throw sliders. Whether you pronate, so when you go in like that, it's called pronating. So like whether you pronate or whether you like rotate to the outside, and obviously it's less natural to go this way. But
yeah,
I forget the video I was watching. It was like throwing like through the slider rather than like, I don't know. But the point is, like, for a slider, you're trying to get like two different kinds of spin on it to get it to move quickly forward and like sharply away from like if you're a right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter.
Yeah.
And so getting like the forward motion and then getting the pronate causes like what they call bullet spin.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Yeah, that was cool to hear about Chris Sale with the change up, that he's changing the way he's putting spin on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he essentially says he throws it like a cutter, but it's a change. He's got the change up grip, and then
which is tight, because I think usually you would read if as a batter you're reading change up, you're thinking that's breaking, if you
down.
So Chris Sale's a left-handed pitcher, right? So he to like a left-handed pitcher, it would be breaking in on a left-handed pitcher, but if it's actually going to be breaking away from them, it'd probably fuck with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Wild stuff, man. Well, shout out Pitch Ninja. Shout out Josh Kosh, a guy. What do we call it? Josh Jacob Jingleheimer. It's his beat today. And yeah, man. Any other shout outs? What you guys want to shout out? Central C?
I got it. Me and Tobe listen to a lot of Central C.
All right.
Tobe got me super into the world game, so we could talk a little world game later, maybe. But
what world game?
Football. You guys watch the Copa America and all that?
We say ciao now, okay? We watch football now.
I want to shout out the Portland Pickles and their 10-cent beer night.
Okay.
They did 10-cent beer night tonight.
Oh, nice.
They were selling these. It's like a shot glass of beer.
There's a game in 1970 something that couldn't end because 10-cent beer night in Milwaukee like caused major ruckus, like rioting. So this must be their homage.
I mean, it's clearly like it's a gimmick, but like so funny. And my homie from Blitzball went and said he's like limit 24 per person.
That makes sense.
So funny.
So great. They look like little thimbles of beer, but those are just straight cups, aren't they?
No, I think they're like the little like plastic. Have you ever seen like the little like medicine cup size? Yeah, it's like the little medicine cup size shot glasses.
And then my perspective shit, I was like, is that just a pint? Like,
no, it's not a warped picture. That's like the actual perspective.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's like a little medicine cup full of beer.
Yeah, it's like a little Jello shot of beer.
Yeah, damn, exactly.
I see what you're saying. That's a work perspective. That's so funny.
Over the beer pong table.
You're right. No, it's not that. No, it's like actual.
You're like doing an aerial, checking all your cups and shit.
The 0.5.
No, it's really like a shot glass of beer. It's a thimble of beer.
Shout out Portland Pickles. What a great organization. You can take the train right to that game.
You can. Next time you're in town, we got to go.
Let's do it, man.
I've yet to be to a game, but I hear that.
Yeah, dude, I saw you recently. That was awesome. That was so awesome. We got pizza.
That was tight. We got pizza. We kicked it.
Old crew, old homies. It's a good time, man. Portland's so beautiful. So beautiful in the summer.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad you came down. That was lit.
Yeah, man. So, I got questions for the boys. My first question is, how do y'all feel about the All-Star game this year? The game itself, man. Pretty good. It's all right. There's some ballers out there, man. There are some ballers.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Admittedly, missed the beginning of it because I was doing baby stuff. But yeah, I liked it. I liked some of the dudes that got the first time nods. Like, it's cool seeing Josh Naylor get some playing time.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool that Skeens started, or Skeens. There we go.
Skeens. Got it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that he started. I know you felt it was like a little disrespectful to Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
But they're trying to sell some, MLB's trying to sell a product. They're going with the story.
Yeah.
Ranger Suarez is cool, but like kind of boring. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a monster, and honestly, every time I hear the Pitch Ninja interview, helped me because like he kind of feels like a sponge, dude. He kind of feels like one of the greats in the making. You're just looking at a young great because he doesn't. He said the Army comment, but other than that, he's like, which is kind of baller in its own way. It's not like necessarily like a bad thing, but it's like he just seems like a sponge, man. He seems like he really wants it, and he's obviously super talented.
Yeah, I mean, the shit he's doing is insane, dude. The stats, the fact that it's like literally a full year cycle away that he was just pitching in the college world championship, and now he just started the All-Star game. Crazy.
Yeah, and as we see Kopech struggling again, it's a story that like just because you have the gas doesn't mean you're going to be a great. There's a lot that goes into it. It feels like.
True.
And
that one, the Pitching Ninja clip that they were referring to, and
it's crazy
that he breaks down is just such a smart, just such a smart all around tunneling move, and just devastating as a hitter.
Yeah.
I remember we would try to do that on playing the MLB the Show a bunch.
Yeah.
Try to hit that outside spot and then like whip in a little curveball or something, or slide on the outside edge. But it's like so hard to locate that anyway. So.
And if you miss, you get parked 9 times.
Yeah. Scary pitch. Yeah.
The tunneling though is like it's the way to go, man. Like if you can throw 3 pitches that look the same when they leave your hand, it's unhittable. You're donezo, dude.
Yeah. With gas.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I was honestly, I didn't watch the whole thing either, but I was impressed when I turned it on because I just like. I know it's like kind of a pitching dominated like league with stats nowadays, but man, like there's a league. I just like we talked about in chat, like it kind of made me be like, I think fantasy baseball being so fun this year had just made me kind of think this way, where I'm like, why do we let these corporate giants just take these teams and then use like city rah-rah to like, promote them when really we could just have all-star teams all year long going tourney style, because like seeing 2 teams at their best, and these guys are like, you could tell they were having fun, but they're also a lot of dogs on each squad,
Mm-hmm.
And the way that baseball lineups are constructed now, I feel like it was just fun to watch all the at-bats, man. Everybody is such an elite hitter and pitcher in this game. It's like I guess I'm getting older, whatever it is, but it was like just like when what's his name, Webb was getting kind of a little shook up. Like it was like he had like left a walk and then let a base hit, and then it's just like the next guy up, you could just tell is like locked in. He's like, I'm walking or hitting a double off this dude, And it's like it's like not a normal lineup he has to face, and he's an ace, but he's not like an overpowering ace. So it's like you could just see it where like even the pitchers who are the best in the business kind of come in like, man, this is crazy.
And it's funny too because you always wonder. I always wonder at least the headspace these dudes are in, because I think at first, like Webb's a great example. You'd be like, yeah, I'm in the All-Star game. I'm like just gonna go out there. I'm gonna throw like a chill inning, and like if someone gets a hit, it's cool. If like something happens, then before you know it, you got like 2 on, and you're like, oh shit, I actually got to like pitch against these dudes. Like I thought we were all playing like a chill game, but like we're actually like
yeah, like
we're out here
run up the score.
Yeah, we're actually gonna like fuck around right now. Okay, like let's fuck around.
I know. And Mason Miller threw 104. I was like, damn, fools are gassing right now.
Yeah, well, that's the young dudes. I don't doubt that they're always like they're out there like trying to show why they actually made the team, you know. And so yeah, that was my favorite part, was seeing the young guys, seeing guys with their first time or like maybe second time appearances, and like, you know, I think I said already, Naylor, Quan, Gunnar Henderson, Ketel Marte. I feel like maybe this was his second or third, probably second All-Star game, but yeah, just dudes like that. And
yeah, the jerseys were pretty fire too. They kind of glow.
Dude, they've been getting so much fucking hate, but I thought they were dope.
I know.
I like them. I thought that I didn't like the hats though, but I thought the jerseys were tight.
The jerseys were fire. So here's the thing. I agree that it's like it's a dumb move on MLB's part to make a team-wide All-Star jersey. They should do that for the pregame and for the home run derby.
Yeah.
And then they should have them wear their team jerseys for the game.
The old school
because
shit. Like
it is the old school shit, but also think about it as like in terms of trying to grow the game and get people interested in baseball.
Yeah.
My father-in-law was talking to me about this. He's like, I tried to watch the All-Star game, but he's like, I had no idea who the fuck was on what team. And like, he's like, if I'm like, you know, if I'm supposed to like care about who has like good players and like get into baseball, and I see this dude's doing well, like I don't know what the fuck team this kid plays for. Like, how am I gonna know like who these people are? Then he's like, I need to know what team they're on for me to care about this. And I was kind of like, well, you like their hats have their team logo and their sleeve has their team. He's like, no. He's like, they need to be wearing their team jerseys. And I don't honestly disagree with him, to be honest. I think it's just another thing in the line of MLB fumbling the bag in terms of like getting new fans in. Like, go back to like streaming, you know, they fucked up on streaming and all the blackout, like the whole blackout thing with that. So it's a fuck up in trying to get new people to watch the game. Weird fucking playoff times is a fuck up in trying to get people to watch the game. Like having playoff games like in the middle of the day for the first two rounds is like dumb in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, having all-star games where you can't tell what the fuck team people play on unless you know like the team logo on the hat necessarily, you know? So I think they need to go back. As much as I liked the jerseys this year and thought they were tight, they kind of had like that, like they were like Ranger style, but like day glow.
Yeah.
Like, they were dope.
Yeah,
but
I totally agree.
I think they need to go back for the actual game to the team-based jerseys. And in that being said too, they need to they've been this weird like All-Star weekend starts on Saturday with like the Futures game and then the celebrity softball game. Regular games are still going on. Like if they're going to do All-Star weekend on the actual weekend, they need to have the last games played on Friday and not be playing games. Cause like there's so much shit that gets like overshadowed by like, oh, my actual team's playing. I'm going to watch that. I used to love watching the celebrity softball game and shit. And now that's like, I feel like it was on Instagram. There's like Instagram Live is how you watch that. Like, I'm sure it costs a ton of money to get that shit like on ESPN, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I felt the marketing of it all blows my mind sometimes. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, I totally agree. I think MLBs, they're always like, at least in my view, it's like it's classic like short term stuff. It's like with the jerseys, it's like, oh well, we can make these jerseys and then we can just sell these new jerseys to fans and make profit on that. But it's like long term would be like, oh, go back to how it originally was, and then you're gonna get more fans, like you're saying, and then you have a long term fan now and invest, and they're gonna invest and make money on that, just being a fan of the game. So, and then All-Star weekend, like the games, it's like all that stuff just seems like, this is the cheapest TV deal we could get. This is like the most affordable time slot we could get, and they're not thinking about like trying to compete on like paying big bucks to get a bigger time slot or something. I don't know.
So true.
But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. And when you rewatch those, because every All-Star weekend, like my YouTube will always pull back some clips from like the 2000s or 90s, and they look pretty fucking sick when they're lined up in all their jerseys and shit. Like, at least on
it's tight. And then if you
nostalgia,
see a dude,
but, yeah.
like, you're like, oh, I really like this guy. And especially for, like, everyone knows where fucking Juan Soto and, you know, Shohei Ohtani play. Like, you can figure that out. But you see a dude like Ryan McMahon for the Colorado Rockies. Like, you never even know where the fuck that guy plays for unless he's wearing a Rockies jersey or whatever, you know? And who knows if anyone's going to care about that guy anyway. But, like...
Even Duran, who won the MVP.
Yeah, exactly. No one knows where Yohan Duran plays for.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll say this. It's like for a league that every year touts, oh, we got to get more viewership, you know. They don't appease, like, it feels like their All-Star game appeases to people like me who are like the nerds, you know. But then at the same time, their grassroots, like, nerd culture that kind of creates all these podcasts is like so deep. They also need to tap into that more. Like, they kind of it just feels like they miss a lot of opportunities, in my opinion. But I guess you can't get them all. But
yeah, there must be. Yeah. I think there's also another thing when you look at it where it's like MLB, like when they talk about that behind the scenes, they must kind of be walking on eggshells in those conversations because, like, the All-Star game is crazy in a sense that at one point it decided who had home field advantage in the World Series, which is like such a huge fucking thing. Like, it's so crazy.
Why though?
Because they wanted to, like, make, there's like criticism, like there is, excuse me, like there is in like basketball, for example, that they just don't try, and they just like they run up the score. And so it was a reason for Bud Selig to say, like, oh no, there's like a real fucking thing to this game.
Nah, but didn't the year before he called the tie in the
because they ran out of pitchers. Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking MLB's like, damn, we like kind of created a mess already like one time with this. I think now they're just like dialing it way back or something. I don't know. They gotta bring back, like, they should do like skill based challenges like the other ones do, like some sort of weird I don't know, like bunting game or throwing game or something like that.
Having it on the weekend just seems like a no-brainer. That's the part I don't know.
Well, yeah, having it on the weekend's fine, but they need to stop regular season play on Friday then, because they had games going through Sunday.
I don't understand.
And so they're doing like All-Star Weekend.
And Wednesday is just dumb to me, but whatever.
Yeah, well, they're doing like All-Star Weekend, but the players aren't even there until Monday because they're all playing in actual games.
Right. And push back the next week because then it's like every year there's pitchers who can't pitch because they start, which is like, you know, I'm sure that's
a good thing with Gilbert, like, Gilbert, he was apparently
can't pitch in it.
So the only reason Munoz got to go to the All-Star game, he was technically the replacement for Gilbert, who was ineligible because he pitched on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
that's brutal, bro. That should never happen. That's fucked up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's why I think Josh was like, why the fuck didn't Gilbert pitch? It is because he, like, I guess if you pitch on Sunday, you're ineligible to pitch even an inning on Tuesday, which doesn't make sense to me because don't you have to like work out anyway, like, or throw a bullpen anyway, like?
Well,
I don't know.
That gets us to the next thing.
It happens every year, though.
Not to ruffle more feathers, because I guess we're already ruffling the ship here. Mariners Layer Pod. Or no, it's like an Instagram account called Mariners Pod Layer? Mariner Layer Podcast or something.
Marine Layer,
my bad. Marine Layer. They're tight. They do pretty good interviews on the field, and they're like, they got all sorts of Mariners content, and that guy seems pretty funny. But he came out yesterday and had kind of a hot take, because they're pretty, like, even keel to me, but he was like, why the fuck is Service pitching Castillo, Kirby, and then Wu against Blanco on Sunday when Gilbert didn't pitch in the All-Star game and it's on 7 days rest? Why isn't our best pitcher pitching in the biggest series of the season? And he sounded pissed. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I didn't know he was doing that.
And didn't he do the same shit with Castillo the other year? Right? Isn't that the one where they sat him in the All-Star game and then he came back and then he gave up 5 runs or something in the next game anyways. Like,
I don't know, man. Service is like live or die by the by the matchups, bro. Like, I'm sure some nerd told him that Logan Gilbert's not a good matchup against the Houston Astros. He's like, oh, we can't pitch. You can't pitch Gilbert.
Dude. Well, the chat, I just happened to go into the comments, and I did not know that all this energy we've had to our service all these years, y'all, this is real out in the world, man. I was like, I pulled back on my service hate after going into that chat. Because fools are like, there's like multiple service needs to be fired.
Oh, dude, people hate him. What they don't get is Service is just a puppet for Dipoto and for Hollander. Like, I truly, this is, I guess, a personal thing, but I truly believe Service has little to no agency in terms of what happens on a day-to-day with the lineup and with the general direction of the team. The only reason he was ever made a manager of this team is because he's homies with Jerry and he'll do what Jerry says. And that's what he's there for, is to do what Jerry says. And go back to like the Yordan Alvarez at bat with Robbie Ray. I believe what Service said is that they had a meeting that morning where they said, if Yordan comes up and the game's on the line and we need a lefty to go lefty, you're warming up Robbie Ray and you're putting him in. And he did that. Like, that's how he manages the game. He has a meeting every morning with Jerry and Justin, and they determine like what down to the at bat is going to happen throughout the game. So I don't know. Yeah.
What a weird world, because on one hand, Jerry has to get some due. He took us out of the trenches and got us the playoff, berth. But that on top of the Teo winning the home run derby and like all the whole, Josh had to run me through that one more time where he's like, this Teo thing hurts because we didn't even give him a qualifying offer. And like their reason was strikeouts, and we're the most strikeoutest team in the fucking universe. It's like, it just goes back to the feel of the game versus the sabermetrics, which we talk about all the time. And I feel like Jerry actually has the best of both worlds, or the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like he's he's the Saber guy, so you're gonna get the best of the Sabers when he gets these cool pickups like Ty France or good bullpen pickups. But you're also gonna get him dumping guys like Teo, not going after guys like JD Martinez. Sorry, I'm done.
No, I'm with you, but I feel like to kind of defend, like, hindsight's 20/20 with Teo, because like I feel like
have those numbers if he wasn't in the Dodgers lineup.
That's exactly that. You got to say that. You got to say that he's got way more protection in the Dodgers lineup. There's something to be said about hitting in the southern part of the U.S. versus hitting in, Seattle, cold ass, windy ass Seattle. Like, he didn't play well here. The odds that he was gonna so he played well from July onwards, but he played awful up until July. The odds that he was gonna have a similar season like that again, I think, were pretty high. And, I feel like they really thought that Haniger could be a similar type of player, and it's turned out that he's not. Not super shocked about that personally, but like I think it's really I'm sorry, dude who can't who can't stay healthy. I mean, honestly, I'm shocked that he's still standing on 2 legs and not in a fucking hospital bed right now, so I guess that's a goddamn win. But like, my point is it's really easy to say right now.
Put on record.
It's really easy.
He gave a ball. He gave a ball for
he gave a ball for the ball. Ball is life, literally. It's easy to say right now after Teo's won the home run derby, which I will say has 0 fucking actual weight on the regular season, and like anyone can go out and win a home run derby and still go hit like 200 for the rest of the season. My point is, I don't think it was like, if you thought you had a similar player, through a trade and not a signing, which is Jerry's MO, which is what it seemed to be the case, is he thought we can get rid of this Robbie Ray disaster. We can get our old homie Haniger to come in and do at least the same level that Teo did for us. And there's no guarantee that Teo was going to be 250 with 20 home runs at the All-Star break, you know? And it's really easy to look at that now. And then on top of that to say, oh, he won the home run derby. And to say, like, oh, we fucked up. So, I don't know. I think we made...
Thanks for taking the rocket ship back to earth. Because when I get on the phone with Josh, he can sway me in these directions. Because he is a very GM-centric, questioning kind of dude, whether it's Jerry Dipoto or anybody. But
well, I will say it wouldn't have been a dumb... I don't think it would have been a dumb decision to sign Teo. Like, he's got a track record, and, like, maybe last year in a contract year was a tough spot for him to be in. If we gave him a 2-year contract, maybe he would have, like, settled in a little bit and, like, figured his shit out. Who fucking knows? My point is, you can't bank on him having the production he's having now, which honestly isn't like, yeah, he's an all-star, but he's not. I think he's like 250 with like 16 home runs or something. I have to look it up before I quote that, but he's not like, he's not hitting 300 with like 30 homers at the break, you know? Like, I feel like it wouldn't have been a bad idea to sign him. It makes sense that they didn't. And now I'll rest my case, I guess.
No, I'm glad you spoke that, because here's my next question is, we obviously know that the Mariners have had a bad stretch going into the All-Star break. Really bad series against the Angels to end it. Now they're looking at a series to start the series off against a rival who's now one game behind them. And if they win, if they take over in the division, Josh was also saying we might not be in the wild card third if we're looking at it, right? And I got to look at that again.
No, but we wouldn't. We wouldn't be. I don't think.
So the stakes are extremely high. Is what I'm saying. The question
you're right. No, for us to get into the playoffs this year, unless us and Houston both start playing significantly better, the only AL West team that gets into the playoffs this year is going to be the division winner, because the AL East is so strong. So I'm pretty sure the wild card is going to be whoever doesn't win the East between the Yankees and the Orioles.
I just want to know in your heart of hearts, how is this going to play out? Because I want to keep talking about it on this show, and then I'm going to keep talking about it in the chat, because the Texas series that started on Friday Night Baseball was a big series for us, and I was like, this is where we shit the bed, and we spanked them. So that's the only thing that's giving me hope, because all meteorology signs are telling me that shit ain't, systems are not feeling good. Now, that's just a surface layer. How I'm just giving you general Mariners Nation feels. What do you guys think about this series? What do you think the outcome's going to be?
Red button this Houston series. Not to be dramatic, but I think the whole season's this Houston series, just for one reason alone. It's like you either this Houston series has everything to do with what you're going to do at the trade deadline, because you win the series. You can go back. Jerry can go back to the front office, make way more a bigger argument to make a push. But if you lose this series, we're back to where we were the last 2 years, where they're not going to do a big name, or not that we would do a big name, but they're not going to really do anything at the trade deadline. So I think it's big for that reason alone. It's like you win, separate yourselves a little more, and then you can have more of a feeling. Because what's the trade deadline's August 1st or whatever?
Yep.
August 3rd, something like that. So that's coming up really soon. So. And just for, I don't know, it sucks because, like, not to say what if, but it's like, if you stay up like 8 or 9, 10 games like we were earlier, it's like way more reasonable to do something crazy at the trade deadline. But
no, we had a terrible run into the All-Star break. We just like
crazy.
It really couldn't have been worse. Like even before the Angel series, we had a bad 2 weeks going into the All-Star break, and it just could not have been worse. We went from 7 or 8 games up to a single game up, and I just checked
glimpses like the Padres series. I'm like, okay, I was like what's this? Where's this team been? And then I'm like, now it's like where the Padres just bad, like just glimpses, man. They can't stay consistent like that, but.
Yeah, just to hit on AL before we start talking about other stuff. So I had said whatever team other than the Yankees and Orioles, because I feel like the Yankees and Orioles are definitely both going to make it. The third team in the AL East is most likely the third All-Star or the third wild card, and right now it is Boston. So
yeah,
but right behind them is KC, and right behind them is Houston. But Houston is 3.5 games out of the third wild card right now. So if we were to, swap places with them throughout this next series, that's where we'd be sitting. We'd be sitting outside looking in. So,
and then and you got to battle the Twins, Royals, who we've lost to a lot this year.
Oh, the Twins the Royals in particular have our number.
Yeah, so that's like if those are the teams that are battling for wild card 3, it's like good luck, bro.
Positives, I will say, we tend to fucking step it up against really good teams.
Yeah,
I agree.
We had in the last 2 years, we have kind of given it to the Astros. I think we have their number a little bit.
Yeah.
Another positive, Tampa Bay doesn't really seem like they are fucking in, like, they're around, but they're not the team they were the last couple of years. They got some shit going on, so we don't, like, I feel like they're kind of pesky always towards the end of the season. I think we're a better team than Boston. I worry about KC, Minnesota, and I think the first wild card, if we don't win the division, I think the first wild card is out of the question. The first wild cards go into either Baltimore or New York, whoever doesn't win that division.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 100%.
The second wild card, I think is the Twins pretty much, unless they can come up on the Indians or the Guardians rather. Sorry, but KC, Minnesota give us trouble. So I think we just got to win our division.
Boston in there too.
I think we're a better team than Boston. I will say that.
Texas series, the only thing I was just like, oh, here comes
I think they beat us this year.
This series feels like that Texas series. It's nightmare fever dream. We're on a high. Here comes our demise. Here comes the other shoe dropping. It feels inevitability, Mr. Anderson. But there's something different about this team this year, and it's the best starting pitching we've probably ever seen in Mariners for a 5-piece. Best 5-piece McNugget.
But it doesn't mean anything if we can't score more than 3 runs a game. That's how it's built.
I know, but that's why I had to bring up Tio. That's why I had to bring him up. Because, again, Mariners Nation here, the frustration that it feels like to be in this position when it's like, yeah, Teo might have not been the same guy. I agree with that. That's like a 100% good take. But a counter is, what are we looking for right now in terms of offense?
It'd be great. Yes, I would. Again, that's why I said it wasn't a bad move. It wouldn't have been a bad move to sign him, but I don't think it was a mistake not to. Like, it's hard to say.
We need
and I will correct myself. He's hitting. I'll correct myself. He's hitting 260 with 19 home runs, so it's slightly better than the 250 with 16 that I gave him, but still.
Yeah.
That's good in today's offensive landscape. That's very good. I don't think,
we need guys. He is getting protection.
He's a guy.
And it's like, if we just had him, he would be our only guy. That's how sad it's become.
Well, who knows? Because maybe Julio would be hitting better with
maybe Garver.
With
him,
and Garver's a piece of fucking trash, and so is Polanco, and every single guy we brought in this year is absolute garbage.
Victor Robles,
all of them. That doesn't. I mean, in the off season, all of them, absolute garbage. I would rather run out Bliss and fucking the first baseman every single day than ever see Garver or Polanco again.
That's the part about the offensive part. Man, you know what someone said in the chat that literally broke my heart today too. I'm not. Should I not even say it because I'm not trying to bring negative vibes. But someone was like, because he was like, "Why the fuck aren't they playing Gilbert?" And someone's like, "He's getting traded." Period. I was like, "How dare you? How dare you say that right now?"
We're not
damn,
gonna be,
that's a hot take.
Nah, we're not gonna be
Gilbert
sellers
for something big. You'd have to get some big returns on that, man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on the market that's like worth that personally.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I don't know who's available.
Who said that?
I'm guessing it was DT or your brother.
DT or Josh.
It's got the
that's
stink of
fucking
DT and Josh
like
all over it.
All right, I'm only going to list the position players.
Only all-star.
That's a sickening
when you're
thing.
division leader. Like that is.
There's no fucking way. There's absolutely no way. We're not going to be doing anything like that. If anything, we're going to be trading top prospects, which I don't know is the right move anyway. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of Tobe earlier. You said it depends on like what happens in this Houston series. And honestly, if we just like go in and get like, I'm clearly not hoping this happens, but if we go in and get swept by Houston and we're like on the outside looking in, I wouldn't necessarily blame like management for not going all in on that. Because if we, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is. Do we go?
If we get swept, I don't think they're doing shit at the trade deadline.
But like, would you blame them for doing that? Because I think
I
think it'd be valid for them to say we fucked up. We didn't put the right team on the table, and we're not going to leverage our entire future to try and like make it up halfway through the season. We're going to like reset and go back next year, right? Like. Because I think to get the guys we need, we're going to lose Ford. We're going to lose one of Colt Emerson or the other dude who has a very similar name and like another small white dude who plays shortstop. I can't ever remember his fucking name.
Yeah.
Throw Hancock in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Those guys are. I
was going to bring up the Harry Ford scenario is a little interesting though. Talking about, that dude has all-star potential for sure, but like. That to me is kind of your biggest trading block piece because realistically, like what are we looking at there? Because it seems Cal's gonna have another good year and they're gonna lock him into a contract, but he does have Scott.
I'm sick of this. I love Cal. I'm kind of sick of the narrative
Morris,
that
right? Like he's gonna ask for a shit ton.
Yeah. Also, like he's gonna hit a lot of home runs this year. He's already got like 20, I think. He's only hitting like 200, bro. You got to hit better than 200. I don't like.
Oh God.
Ty P. Feline kiss.
You got to hit your body weight, bro. Hit your body weight.
All right, I got the trade deadline possibilities here. First, say best case scenario. I'm just gonna speak for the group here. Best case scenario, we bag Randy Rosarina and Luis Robert Jr.
Randy, baby.
Out loud. Luis Robert Jr. has easily got to be the best of the position players. Maybe. I say easily just in my opinion, but I'm going to name them from the bottom up real here so we get an idea of what's coming here. Possibilities. Obviously depends on the Blue Jays. There's 3 Blue Jays on this list. Jesse Winker, Taylor Ward. I'm going from the bottom up. Kevin Pillar, Taylor Ward, Brent Rooker, Tommy Pham, Isaac Paredes is on the Rays, and then Danny Jansen on the Blue Jays, possibly Vlad Jr., Paul DeJong on White Sox, Bo Bichette, and then Jazz Chisholm Jr. and Randy and Luis Robert Jr. Obviously, position players.
Randy,
man, that's not that deep. I don't think we're obviously not going to get any Blue Jays. It just doesn't seem likely that they would do that. They don't seem to like us. But maybe. But I hate to be... I guess I'm just digging into paranoia again. But, man, some of these guys you would have to give up somebody like a Gilbert for. I feel like. Bo Bichette or like Vladdy Jr. definitely. But that's
and aren't these guys in contract years or they're like next year's that like the most we're getting them for a year and a half?
Yeah, and we'd be giving up an all-star pitcher. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
I mean,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
taking-
Like, I don't think that Vladdy Jr. is gonna like. Let's just use that as a hypothetical. Like, are we one Vlad Jr. away from a World Series? I don't really think so.
Yeah.
I'm taking Brent Rooker, bro. They've
Rooker's
already talked about
tight.
he likes. Dude, he's 291, 21
I
home
fuck
runs.
with Brent
he hits
Rooker,
well.
but again,
Seattle,
the
he said he likes
A's are
Seattle,
not
but they're
gonna.
gonna ask for a shit ton.
That's
but
what I'm saying. And like, are we?
Yeah.
Is it worth giving up Harry Ford
yeah.
and
If
like
I
a
wake
pitching
up in the
prospect?
morning,
for
I
that?
agree.
Like,
If I wake up in the morning and Ty P and Harry Ford go to Oakland and we get Brant Rooker,
yeah, no.
I'd
I see
rather
what
just
you're saying.
cash
I
it
see what
in
you're
and like
saying.
try
saying
again
that
next
though,
year.
if we get Brant Rooker and then go and get Jazz Chisholm or go and get Randy Rosarina, someone with a little more flash, we need two people, dude.
Yeah, we need
two hitters. I just cannot see us buying in any deeper. But the problem about what you guys are saying is you're saying
I like Randy, but he sucks this year, bro.
I know, but if we win the series, we're buyers, and if we lose the series, we're just stale.
I don't think we're sellers. I don't think we're sellers.
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
just
selling.
stale.
I think like
Here's what I'm
reset for
saying is,
next
if
year
we
and like see
series,
what we can do.
you know they're going to be on that same shit of, oh, well, we got the pieces. They just got to click. It's all in the hitters. You know what's
And
the
honestly,
impetus
that's
going
kind of the
into-
fucking deal. Is like we do have like JP needs to be a 260 hitter again. Fucking Julio needs to be a 280 hitter again. We have like a lot of the reason the team is not succeeding is like you can point to Garver and Polanco being bad pickups. You can point to other things. The major fuck up in our team is that Julio is not as good as he was his first 2 years this year. JP has regressed significantly. Ty France has not taken the step forward we thought he would. And I mean, yeah, our outfield is kind of a disaster, like offense wise. You know, we have Luke Raley is probably our best outfielder technically, other than
Dude, Luke Raley is probably our best player right now.
Yeah,
around,
Julio. Honestly, Julio's
To be
like
honest.
Julio's a decent like replacement
Julio's-
level.
yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
fine,
I like
but he's
Julio.
supposed to be the fucking
Yeah,
guy.
right,
He's supposed to be the
right.
dude who's hitting
He's the
40
second
home runs a
halfer,
year
too.
and hitting.
Can't take that
He
away.
is,
Yeah.
and I have a lot of faith in like August, September Julio. I really do. I think he's gonna end up a 270 hitter with 30 home runs this year. I think he will, but
Our lineup is atrocious.
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
Looking at,
It's just hard to say. It's just hard to say like we didn't do enough when the guy like it's how can you build off a team when you can't trust that like your guys are gonna not be your guys? Like
I hate to
Yeah, there's
say
one
it,
guy,
too.
bro. There's one guy. Josh mentioned him before the beginning of the season. I really want to interview with this guy, put him in a public shaming process. But we had an offensive coordinator this year.
Yeah.
What the fuck? We just paid some random dude to be an offensive coordinator, a made up position, and we have the worst offense now in baseball. Who is this guy?
Man,
I don't
also
Who does he work for, dude?
Polanco, there's a couple guys who are great at defense, but Polanco looks more than lost at the plate. His approach is not
no, he's bad.
there.
He's been bad. Something's wrong.
Oh wait, they
Something's wrong.
dismissed him May
Here's-
31st. That's funny as shit.
We played really well for a couple weeks after that too. After they let him go, but now we're back in the dumps. I will say I put a lot of this on. I know he's been hurt, but I put a lot of this on
Brant
JP. Like
JP.
I think he hit 260 last year, and now he's like barely hitting 200. Bro, you got to hit at least 240. Like I'm fine with the regression. Like you had a career year. That's what it is. But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
He's
last
trying to get those power swings now too. He's trying to get his home runs up. I feel like he's
his
losing the
last
I will
yeah.
put it on record though to go back, bro. I think like if we're looking at trade deadline, which I know is far fetched, I think to be honest, is the Brent Rooker's the only thing that I'll even be close to happy for, and just giving up random pitchers. Like you could give him a big package, just no big names. I don't think Oakland's gonna ask for that much. They're already moving, and he's hitting 290. Like Luis Roberts nice and Randy's nice, but we're just gonna why would we trade for two dudes who are hitting 200? They're going to come to the Mariners and do the same exact thing where they're going to hit 200, and that's not going to help our lineup. It's like we need a 290 hitter who can make contact. That's like what we need, you know? So that's the only thing in my mind that, like, you know, thinks makes sense. It's like get high average dudes right now. And dude who said he likes hitting at the Mariners Stadium, because that was the interesting thing about, you see the Teo interview where he's talking about, and he wasn't, I thought it was a hella cool interview. It was no disrespect or shade. He was just saying he just felt like the stadium's built weird. He said he said you feel like you're hitting crooked when you're at plate in the stadium. And he was trying to explain like why people hit bad there. So it's an interesting take, but it's like, that's why you have to do. You're going to hire an offensive coordinator. You got to get dudes who come here in the offseason and spend a month being like, this is how the park is set up. You got to get used to this. You got to get used to, like, this is, study every angle of the shit. It's like, why do you have dudes here who don't understand that it's hard to hit here? And it's like, it's been going on since the stadium was built. It's like, I'm hammering this into dudes' heads when they come here and just being like, put up a fucking picture of the POV from the plate in your fucking bedroom, bro. Like, it's like, wake up in the morning, put it in your shower, dude. Like, get used to that shit, because that's what you're gonna fucking hit.
I know. All right. Well, we got to end it on a good note, because it's like, man, dude, there's just like a lot, like, you know, it's like, I want, you know, not like us.
Oh, wait, can we do, Jess, can we get your classic check? What were we at last All-Star break? Let's compare the record.
All right, let's see what Mariners last game.
Because we're 2 up, boys. Life could be worse. We're division leaders. Who'd have thought All-Star break we'd have our most depressing pod, and we're still division leaders at All-Star break? It's so funny. If you'd have told us this before the season, I'd be like, what happened?
Yeah, that's what Josh said when he went to a Mariners game. He's like, I was talking to an attendant there, and I was like, man, first place. They're like, not for long. He's like, what is going on? We were 500 on July 16th, 2023, which I was assuming we were third in the West.
Yeah.
500.
And we finished 10 over. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Or 9 over.
Now we're 6 over.
Yeah.
And, like I said, we have better starting pitching than we've had in a long, long time. And I think the guys know that. And I think the reset it seems like actually, like, just again, silver linings here. The reset seems like it would be nice for a team like the Mariners. Like, they need a reset. Now, the same could probably be said about Houston, because they also had a pretty shitty first half. But, I don't know. Like I said, Not Like Us was a big moment in hip hop, and it kind of gave me some hope. You know, like shit. Sometimes shit just lays a little. You know, people lay dormant. You don't know what they're gonna do, and then they just pop out on you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe the Bears got to just pop out on them. You know, because like every time we've done good this season, why are we good? I can't tell you. It doesn't feel like much different from when we were bad, except we just get the runners on base home more. You know, that's like all I can.
There's glimpses. That Padres series, we look fire. Right? Like when that's hit, and I don't know.
So that's what gives me a little bit of like, okay, there might be something. So I'm gonna keep talking about this Houston series, and yeah, man, if we lose, I got to take one of those dabs I sent earlier. So yeah.
You know what else we need to check? You know what else we need to check on?
I have faith, man.
Yeah, we're gonna send you that song on loop, 24-hour Rocket Man loop. I'm just a man. This is a tin can.
Yo,
floating in a tin can.
I'm just like, I take the dab. I order the Domino's, then take the dab. Because if you take it first, you won't be getting that Domino's. I'm just kidding, man. I don't do dabs. But if I did, they would be these shit I said earlier. Man,
be strong.
Go Mariners. Let's stay strong. And yeah, man. Don't listen to the meteorologists. They don't know what they're talking about.
This is how we're coming in second half, boys. Let them know. we ain't gonna hit, then it's a F you attitude. That's what I gotta tell the boys if I'm coming in the dugout. There's my pep talk to the boys. Listen, if you ain't hitting, then we're fighting. Okay, people are gonna be scared of us one way or another.
The Mariners are a wild franchise. Reading that comment board was crazy. I could just physically feel.
Was it Reddit?
Frustration. No, it's Instagram actually.
Oh, okay.
But
I was saying Reddit's straight up toxic. I don't go there anymore.
Man, it felt like a sexually frustrated room full of people. Like it was like people. there was incel vibes there for sure. It was like really
ladies and gentlemen, you need to get laid.
It felt like it felt weird. But I will say, man, good or bad, we're just pontificating, man. We don't really know nothing. I honestly believe that.
We'll always have Bongtown.
Pontificating. Could I get that used in a sentence, please?
Yeah.
P-O-N-T.
Pontificating. Yeah, man. We're going to win this. That's what I say.
Hell yeah.
We're going to win it.
We're winning it.
Things are going to look up for the world and for the Mariners. And that's the faith that I keep.
Who's your pick to click second half?
Ghost of Bongtown.
Man. Ghost of Bongtown is my Yankees. They are like the Yankees of the motherfucking fantasy. They're the evil empire. And I'm a scrub nub deep into my soul. I rep scrub.
Scrub nub's about to beat me, bro.
You're scrub daddy.
I'm glorious. If I want to see, but if you win this weekend, I'm dead on arrival. That is so funny to me. You got an extra couple days and you just beat him. I
hope so. We'll see.
You got some starters, man. Anyways, good pod, but man, a lot of people, they wake up, you got to have faith, and Mariners are my religion, faith. They're angels in the outfield. Maybe one day we'll fly. If we could just get that extra bat. Just get that extra bat. Nah, good pot, guys. I love you.
Bat for bat.
I'm not gonna let the haters win. I'm not gonna go into the comments.
Stay strong, Jazz, bro. What's happening?